So there's a whole series of books at Usborne that look at kids and their bodies and what's happening to them. More than that, when your kids are younger and they're trying to understand their bodies and they're learning big words that they, what is the right word to use and what's happening with my body and who am I and how does it work, there's a book for that too. So this one is called My First Book About Me. And this book literally goes through everything. It talks about me and my day, so kids can understand, what is their schedule, what is their day, what happens, right? What can they expect? It talks about feelings. Now, for younger kids, really young kids, this is perfect. It literally has the kind of 5-6 base feelings that we talk about. And then it's got some of the added ones so that they're starting to build that repertoire. You can take pictures of yourself and stick them in. You can make it your own, personalize it as you want to. It goes on to talk about clothes. It talks about family. Looks at the body, so different body parts. This is really basic stuff for just little people. Clothes. I think we had a section in here you said about the family and friends, right?
Yeah.
And we get to talk about different family units. So this is a great way to start if you have I would say it's a unique family unit, but I think there's more unique than traditional nowadays.
Yes.
So this is really good. And to understand not just your own family, but for kids, their friends, like, Tommy's got 2 dads, or, those kinds of questions come up.
And
it's in here. So we're starting to deal with some of that stuff. So in a way that is, I think, friendly and easy, and, it's clear. It's not making it secretive. It's just clear and out there and matter of fact.
It's a great introduction for when those questions start getting asked.
Yeah. There's stickers in the back. We all love stickers where they can add their own bits and pieces and finish off the pages with stickers. I always think you can always finish off the pages however you want, but
absolutely.
There are stickers. There's talking about changing and growing up. So some kids really don't like that. They want to stay the baby. When you have another baby, the older one wants to still be the baby.
Yeah.
So this is a really good way to talk about the benefits of growing up, all the cool stuff that happens as you get older, and that's where we talk about it in session, is focusing on what exciting things do you gain by growing up so that it makes it worthwhile. So
new things you're going to get to do as a grown up.
So, when your 9-year-old is starting to notice things, when your 10-year-old, your 11, 12, 13-year-old, when they're struggling with friendships, when they're struggling with all of that tween and early adolescent stuff, there's a book for that. As we already said, there are 2 other versions. There are books called What Is Happening to Me? What's Happening to Me? There's a girl and a boy version. Guess what these are? Yes, they're talking about how to keep clean. They're talking about deodorant. I know a lot of kids. There are even sections here on how to use a tampon.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very comprehensive. It's what is periods? How long do they last? This is the talk.
This is the talk
that you don't want to have.
Simple.
Right.
This is the talk with text that allows your children to grasp exactly what's happening to them. There most likely won't be too many additional questions because these books really do cover them all. And the illustrations that they put in there make it even better. I remember for myself personally, the books that I was given, there were no pictures of anything. So all I'm doing is reading this text, feeling very overwhelmed, very scared of what was coming, where this kind of takes a little bit of that fear away.
This, I have to say though that from my perspective, a book like this, as amazing and comprehensive as it is, never ever replaces your role in the talk. So you still need to be there.
Yes. Don't just give it to them and walk away.
But at least it gives you a way to talk about it. It helps you to work your way through all the topics. When you get to the end of the book, or when you get to kind of, sort of those bigger topics, you've covered everything.
Yeah.
And that's a big piece. Sometimes you feel like, oh, did I remember to tell them about that? You have. It's all covered. It's all in.
What I do love about each of these books as well, aside from telling you about acne and how to treat it, and for those who are shaving and the different ways of taking care of your skin, which is really great. At the back of each of these books, so for what's happening to me for girls, there is a section of why you're different from boys. So you do get a little bit of information of what's happening to the boys and what's changing in their bodies, and the same with the boys for the girls, which is, I think, wonderful, because it's allowing them to understand what's happening to the opposite sex. So when things do happen in a situation, no one's surprised, no one's overwhelmed. It talks about bullying. There's a whole bunch of wonderful things in here. It really does cover absolutely everything. I think the way that this book is done, if you are sitting down with your children and going through it, they are going to be so much more comfortable with you to be able to come to you when they have additional questions down the road as they're starting to get older.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is such a great thing to have with your child.
So something that we would that I would recommend, or that we would do, is we'd say, let's go chapter by chapter. We're going to read, just 2 pages a week. 2 pages a week, let's say, maybe more. But what we're going to do is I'm going to take a pack of Post-it notes, and I'm going to put a pack of Post-it notes stuck to the back of the book, and I'm going to leave the book there so that they can read or read ahead as they want. And I'm going to make sure that as they have questions, as they think of them, they write them down and they stick it just right in the back of the book there where we can talk about it.
That's brilliant.
So we don't forget the questions, that we have them, they're there, we can answer them, we can come back to them. And sometimes kids will have questions that you can't answer. I think the scariest thing as a parent is just as you're lying down to go to sleep and your kids come in and they're like, Mom, why does this and this and this happen? And you're like, well, so we create what we call the Big Questions book. You can do it with something like this. You would do the same thing with the Post-its on the inside. These are bigger questions that, you know what, I don't know the answer to. I know I'm your parent and I'm perfect, but I too need some knowledge, and Dr. Google will help me.
I'll get back to you.
There we go. So that's what that big question place is, and that's how you would start to look for something like this. There are questions that they think of afterwards. There are pieces that come up, and the more you can be available to answer them, the better. And honestly, if you don't know the answer, you're much better off saying, I don't know.
Absolutely. Be 100% honest with them, and then that way they'll also be 100% honest with you.
I think a lot about sexuality with kids now, especially and gender identity as we're going into that early tween age. And I have a lot of kids who will come in, and even they are saying, I think I'm pansexual, or maybe I'm asexual, or maybe I don't really know what all of those words mean. And to be honest with you, I can honestly say that there are some days when I get thrown words where I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that means. So it's okay as an adult to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't have to know the answers to every question.
No, exactly.
And
we're always learning throughout life.
Yeah.
So especially as things are changing.
Use the Post-its, find a space for them to put those questions, and then your book now becomes an ongoing conversation.
Once we've gone past this stage of what's happening to me, I find we do have this for boys as well, but I do find girls, we want to know all the details about everything. We are very detail oriented. Boys, not so much. Give me the main facts and I'm good to go. However, we do have a lot of boys that want to know it as well. That way we have it available. But this is the book that you can go, here sweetie, you can read this on your own.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more information about what's happening to them as they're really starting to grow up now. Where most likely at this point they're comfortable to sit back and read it on their own, where they can still come to you for questions later. But it's a perfect book for them to really grasp and understand all the new changes that are happening in their life.
So this book says it's the essential guide to help you through your teens. It's going to talk about healthy eating, self-confidence, periods, bullying, social networking, drinking, drugs, stress, STIs, hormones, relationships, sex, contraception, brain changes, feelings, friends, breakups, fashions, everything.
All of it.
Everything is
all
in here.
It.
This is the manual that we all wanted when we
exactly.
were teenagers.
Exactly.
So
in school where they pinpoint it, no, this is where you get that extra information.
So we have books for pretty much everything, which is why Usborne, right?
Which is why Usborne, and they're just done so well.
Yeah.